Good morning, everyone from Australia. It is Bridget from the Art of Grace Publishing House, and I am here to chat with a number of authors today and authors in the spotlight on our Amazon Live television show that streams through the Binge Network in the USA, through My Time TV Live on YouTube and Facebook, and through LinkedIn. I'm so pleased to have you all here with me, and if you are popping by, please do give us a hello, and whether you're on Facebook or you're on the Amazon Live television show, we would love to hear from you. We're here today to talk to some of the authors from Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, and gives me great pleasure to share this book with you all, because intuition is something that we all have. You can grab your copy from if you jump on over to our Amazon Live show, you can actually grab your copy from the cart in there. And we have two books now in the series, the Intuitive Knowing Her Truth and the Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. They're both available through the Amazon link. And we would love to talk to our first author today, who I would love to welcome to join me, is Meredith Rose. Meredith is a beautiful human being that I have got the pleasure to know over the course of the last few months. And thank you for joining me, Meredith. It's great to have you.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you so much for having me.
Meredith, can you tell me, how did you come to be in the book Intuitive?
Look, I think it was a bit of a question of a bit of a case of manifestation, to be honest. It was a dream of mine to become an author since I was in primary school. I just didn't think that I was going to do it till much later in life. I kind of thought about it quite a few times and had the idea, but it was all just a bit overwhelming. And I also had, I guess, a lot of self-worth issues that I know a lot of people face. Kind of stopping me from thinking that I had something to say and that anyone would care. But I dreamt about it for such a long. I dreamt that whole time, dreaming, you know, and like you just fell in my lap. Super grateful to you and the universe, you know, divine timing.
Oh, that's so good. Can you share with us what it is that, if we don't want to give the whole thing away, because we want everybody to jump on over to Amazon and purchase their copy, but what is it that you shared in your chapter in Intuitive Speaking Her Truth?
Okay, so I guess my story was quite broad. It covered a long sort of span of time, and what I really wanted to share was to sort of show how the contrast, I guess, like from going from someone who was like really, really squashed and just completely small and struggling and disconnected from my truth, from my power, from everything, to learning to trust my intuition. To literally, like, as soon as I started trusting my intuition, as soon as I learned that I was a highly sensitive person and started to love that about myself, rather than thinking that I needed to be someone else, things started to shift for me. And, you know, lots of things happened, like big, traumatic things happened as I went through this kind of like, transformation and awakening. But it was all to do with trusting my intuition. It was all about finding self-love and appreciating myself for who I am, and really that contrast and the way that, you know, I guess my spirit was unleashed through that process. And yeah.
I love that, because you did, you've even blossomed since writing in the book. I don't know whether you feel that, but I certainly feel that from your presence, and it is something that, your visibility has grown, and I was instantly drawn to you, mainly because of your throat chakra, beautiful tattoo. I don't think I have ever described a tattoo as beautiful. I'm not a fan of tattoos, and it's not that I don't have lots of friends who have tattoos. I would never have one myself. But I was instantly drawn to you because of this. And I think that I was like, oh my gosh, I want her in the book because it's part of the Speaking Her Truth, because the image on the front cover is the color this color, is the throat chakra color, and it's, you know, representing of that. And I was in awe of you coming forward and then seeing your photo and going, oh my gosh, this is amazing, I want her in the book. Do you think that this has any connection with what we've done?
Oh, hell yes. Yeah, that wasn't lost on me either. Yeah, and I mean, this tattoo is a celebration of that process that I went through, which you probably gathered. Yeah, and that's exactly why I said yes. Like, I didn't even, like, seriously, it's all wrapped up, it's all weaved in, and it's all perfect because, you know, I didn't know anything about you or the book, and as soon as I saw that the title was intuitive, speaking her truth, I was just like, oh my gosh, like, how is this happening? Like, how does this woman exist, and how does her book series exist? This is insane, you know. And yeah, and for me, like, yeah, the color of the throat chakra being blue has always been my favorite color. And it's so funny because, talking about the contrast that I was talking about before, going from that small squashed version of myself to now, back then I tried to tell myself that I was just so lost that I thought that I needed to have a different favorite color. Like, it was everything. Like, I was just so lost, and I tried to push away the color blue. And so during that process, I was like, what am I doing? That's my favorite color. I am, like, so much about me is blue, and yeah, it's just so amazing because you know, the work that I've done with the throat chakra has been important for me in my, like, biggest passion, which is sound and singing and mantra stuff. So yeah, it's been so perfect. Really quite mind blowing, really.
Yeah. Well, I've never told you that before. That was, you know, that was my instant reaction when I saw your image. I was like, oh my gosh, I want her in the book because of this. Almost like you're the poster girl for speaking her truth. I just want to acknowledge that we have some people over on Amazon Live watching us. Thanks for being with us, Carly. Lexi is there too. She said it is such a great book. I've just dropped my phone. Rose is over there too. Rose is over there too. She says, hey, thanks, Adair, for the direct link here. Saved her a lot of time. G'day, Bridget, and your guests. Carly has said, hi, Meredith, good to see you. I love that manifestation. That is manifestation at its finest. And that was when we were talking about you finding me and me finding you. And we have another comment. Your tattoo is amazing. Meredith, I do love your tattoo. That's amazing. And I think they said at the same time because there's a snap on there. And Lexi says it's a beautiful tattoo as well. Adair says serendipity about our you know, universal lining up for us. And yeah, that's awesome. We also have on Facebook, we have Linda saying, yes, I love that throat chakra tattoo. It is a gorgeous tattoo, Carly says. And yeah, so thank you guys for your comments. It does help us to get more coverage for our interviews. So please do keep sharing and do pop on over to Amazon to purchase your copy of the book, and you can read all of Meredith's story through there. Meredith, tell me, what was it like for you? You've had this dream to become an author. What was it like for you to actually become an author?
Well, it was interesting. Obviously super powerful, super amazing for me. Like, considering, you know, I'm in my late 30s now, and I've been dreaming of this since early primary school years, when I discovered that I loved writing and I loved words. But it was interesting because obviously things like this can sort of show us what else we need to be working on, or what we need to be working on more within ourselves. And it wasn't easy internally in the just in my just the process. It brought up a lot of self-worth stuff that I thought I'd, you know, healed from and done so much work on, which I have, you know, but it's a journey, isn't it? And there's probably we can probably just keep working on that. I don't think there'll ever be a point where I'm like, yep, done. Self-worth is there, self-love is there. There's going to be ebbs and flows, and it was a big challenge for me, as I was like, oh my gosh, who am I to be doing this? I'm, nobody, and it all came up again. So there were some dark days, but you work with it, and you really see where needs to be more work, and that's what I did. And yeah, it's been, like I said, it's all perfect. We can be so grateful for those dark times, and just so grateful for the challenges, because they do show us, show us the way, and show us where, yeah, we can do better for ourselves.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's something that it's an unexpected win from being in a multi-author book, to share your story and go through that multi-faceted emotional process of uncovering more of yourself, because that's what I feel happens each time I write in a multi-author book, is that another layer of the onion gets peeled back. And I see that with each author, is that they seem to discover a new part of themselves, or a new passion for something. It often unfolds that a new business idea evolves out of writing their stories. It's almost like you're mirroring yourself from the past into the future, and then it allows you to create this new reality for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because like you said, it's like we're an onion, and it reveals certain different things. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I've sort of revealed anything new. I think I've just found my power in what I'm already doing, and it's just really helped solidify that, and solidify that I'm on the right track. And yeah, it's really beautiful.
I've just had a question on Amazon saying, how did you come up with the name for the book? So I'm actually given the names for the books. I don't come up with them. Intuitive dropped in probably 6 months before I actually released that book for applications. And I knew it was going to be a series, but I didn't know what the books were going to be in the series. And each time I create a new one, the title drops in. So the first one was Knowing Her Truth, and the second one that we are talking to the authors today about is Speaking Her Truth, and the third one, which is open for applications now, is Intuitive Seeing Her Truth. So that's how I come up with them. The divine intervention and the universal powers that be drop them into me. So it's not of my doing. I'm just here to be the messenger and the guide to allow the women to come together and to share their stories and create that platform for them. So yeah, that's how it happened. Thank you so much for the question, Adair. We have another comment from Carly. She says, I love this whole chat. Is amazing how you do that, Bridget. Thanks very much, Carly. We appreciate your support. And Meredith, can you tell me, what is it that you're up to in your world?
Oh, well, I'm sort of at a place where I'm finally sort of weaving all the parts of me together. And I think maybe that's actually the thing that's really come from this book. It's really actually provided insight for me as to how all the parts of me get to work together and flow together. So, I mean, I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher, and so I'm very obsessed with the chakras. But I'm also a coach, like an online income mentor. And so what I sort of have found my work to be doing is coaching people, not just in the tangible aspects of that world, but in the finding and the identifying what chakra is like sort of out of balance, to really kind of balance them and heal them, and really to find success in all the realms of life, like in abundance, in love, in our voice, in our heart, in our all of it. And so it's really quite amazing, because for a long time I was just like keeping that part of me over there and keeping that part of me over there, and they were separate. And singing and mantra stuff was just a bit of a passion that I just kept to myself, and sound and everything. And it's like, well, wow, I've finally found the way for my medicine and my passions with all of those realms to be flowing together, and sort of teaching, I guess, coaching others to do the same, or in terms of their chakras and their passions and all of that. So, yeah, it's really been a big year for me.
And how can people get in touch with you, Meredith?
Well, there's my website, and I have a pretty big social media presence on my Facebook business page and my Instagram. At the moment, on my Facebook page, I'm sharing about the manifestation process, and I weave Kundalini yoga into that because Kundalini yoga for me has been a way for me to raise my vibration. And also heal the chakras so that I don't have any blocks and anything like that. So that's what I share about on my Facebook page. So anyone's welcome to follow along just to receive those be part of those conversations. Website, Facebook, and Instagram.
And you can drop those links into the Facebook. And if anybody is looking for Meredith, if you search for Meredith Rose on Facebook, you will find her, and then all of her links will go through there. Meredith, tell me, I love working with the chakras. I love that you offer this service in the world. What would it be like for, there's a lot of people who lose touch with their intuition, and a lot of people think that they're not intuitive and that they can't do it. What would you say to those people? And do you think there's a direct correlation with blocks in chakras to people who believe that they don't have intuition?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I mean, this is the third eye chakra, Ajna chakra, is like the seat of intuition. And yeah, I mean, there are yogic practices that you can do. There's so many practices that you can sort of do to help really unleash that. I think it needs to be wrapped up in self-love as well. I think a lot of the time we become disconnected from our intuition because of the lack of self-love. And so that's been a big part of my journey is just like finding that and being determined to find it. Because as I talk about in my story, I used to just absolutely loathe myself for most of my life, and so yeah, that was quite confronting, really, really hard. But it was during that process of finding the self-love and then leaning into my Kundalini yoga practice that really like I said, everything started to shift. So with self-love, we can certainly we can trust ourselves and trust in our intuition.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the first key. And then we can find the sort of the more practical things to sort of help that along, such as meditation and obviously I'm an advocate for Kundalini yoga. So yeah.
I love that, and I love your passion for what you're doing now. It's your voice is getting stronger all the time, and I love seeing you present on social media and what you're doing. One of the things that I noticed is when I first met you, I didn't see anything about music in your life, and recently I've seen lots of that. Do you think that this has grown out of that process as well? You've found that reconnected with that love and sharing it with others?
Oh, yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it was the lack of self-love that stopped me from singing, and it was the lack of self-worth that stopped me from sharing and keeping it, and made me keep it a secret. So yeah, it's a case of divine timing again. In all of it, like just the puzzle pieces have all just fallen into place in perfect timing. But yes, that is truly absolutely a side effect of all of this process is going, oh my gosh, like, I'm going to allow my singing voice to be unleashed, not just my voice, in having my say and knowing my truth and speaking my truth, which I never did, by the way, before. I was obviously a big people pleaser, squashed my voice, like bit my tongue so many times, and it's just like absolutely crippling. It was crippling. And so, yeah, it's been not just that aspect of my voice, it's been my physical singing voice, and it's still a work in progress, like as is everything. And I think I still have a long way to go, but I'm on the right path.
Oh, it's beautiful. I find when I do come across your lives or recordings that you do, it's completely calming for me. Carly has said it's beautiful over on Amazon Live. If you are watching us on Amazon Live TV, please do give us a shout out. Your comments help us to reach more people, and your interaction with us is fantastic. So ask questions if you have any, and you can purchase your book over on Amazon Live. Both the books are available over there in the series Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, the authors we're speaking to today, and Intuitive Knowing Her Truth, the one that we did first. So Meredith, is there anything that you would like to share with everyone that you haven't had the opportunity to today?
Oh, I mean, I think I've sort of, said a lot of what I want people to really receive and take into their hearts, which is self-love. It's got to come first. It's so important, and it's when we don't have it, our life gets crippled, and so it affects everything. So I guess that's the biggest thing. Honor yourself enough to find the people that you need to sort of heal from whatever's holding you back, and just allow yourself that. It's a gift to yourself, but then it becomes a gift to the world, because obviously, as we know, the ripple effect of taking care of ourselves is it's just infinite. So it's really important. Please put yourself first and love yourself.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Love it. Thank you so much for being with me, Meredith. It was great to catch up with you, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, bye-bye. What a beautiful chat to start our chats today. Meredith is an incredible human being, and one that I have had the honour to get to know over the past couple of months, and one that you should connect with. She has a presence about her that is calming and inviting and welcoming. She's an incredible human being, and it's a credit to her with her Kundalini yoga and her chakra work, and the income training that she does for people. So you can grab her and all the other authors over on Amazon, and you can check out their stories. I always get this wrong. I'm not great at doing this part. Need practice, don't I? I think I've had enough by now. So I would like to welcome to join me now the beautiful Carly J. Walters, who has become a bit of an addict to multi-author books like me. Thank you so much for joining me, Carly J. It's so great to have you.
No, thank you for having me again.
It's great to have you again. And I do have two of your books here. So you are in this one,
Yes.
F Motherhood, and you're in this one, and you're in another book as well, and you are about to be in our next iteration in the Art of Grace Publishing House. So tell me, what is it about the books that writing in multi-author books that attracts you to them?
So what really attracts me is that I get to share my story amongst other amazing people, and together, the way that we are collaborating, you find that your journey, even though they're completely different stories, they gel together so well, and the inspiration that it has for others to rise and shine in their greatness, whatever that may be, that's really the goodness in it and the magic in it. So being able to actually, keep sharing different chapters of my life to inspire, especially other women, that they can rise up, because it doesn't matter what sort of hell we've been through, we can always find a better path ahead of us.
And that is so true. It is, isn't it? You don't have to stay in the situation that you're in. You can find a new way for you and a new way of being, and that through the connection through other people's stories can actually help you to do that.
Yeah, that's a ancient wisdom, really, because how did we keep telling stories and keep living for so long was by passing down these stories to the next generation from our generation. And that's what these sort of books do, is brings that back, that village of being able to tell our stories of survival, tell our stories of wisdom to others, so that they can then do their thing and be able to keep on rising from that. So
yeah, absolutely, I totally agree with that. Thank you for sharing that. We have Stacey has joined us over on Amazon Live as well, and she says she loves you, Carly, and Adair and Roz have both said hi, Carly. Thank you for that. It is in Intuitive, you share a story that will allow many to connect to you. Can you just share a little snippet of what you've shared in there to give them an insight and maybe perhaps a little of intrigue so that they can go and buy the book?
Yeah, in my chapter, it took me a little bit to work out what I needed to share, but it was with that sitting down and actually just listening to guidance. And it came through clearly, like I had to share my journey as a mother birthing as a free birther, not just in the hospital mainstream stage. So that really required me to find my voice to be able to get to that point of going, no, I can do this on my own. And so my story shares that journey of why I chose to free birth and why that was so powerful for me.
I love that. And it's, you know, finding our voice in situations where society is dictating how things should be done is often harder than, you know, finding our voice just as we are growing up, because it's something that you get influenced by all these outside influences. And I love that you shared that particular story in this book, because it really did encompass you speaking your truth, didn't it?
It really, really did. Like I had to overcome the doctors telling me this is what it must be. I had to speak with my partner in a new way to like show him that I had that ability to, and speaking to so many other people. There were outside influences everywhere, and I share a couple of those stories in there of what actually happened and how I was able to communicate there and really get my communication skills back by doing this.
We over on mytimetv.live, we have Linda saying you are a rock star, Carly. Thank you for that comment, Linda. She is a rock star. And Adara said you're a serial author, and she thinks that's brilliant. Carly, can you tell me, you are the founder of the Mama's Permission movement, and I love that name. It is something that attracted me instantly when you invited me into that group. I was like, hell yes. It was, you know, that name, Mama's Permission, is, it instantly makes you feel welcome. And I think that you being able to welcome mothers into a group like that online is a beautiful thing. Can you tell us more about the Mama's Permission movement?
Yeah, so my Mama's Permission movement was birthed really because I didn't find a space like online that I actually felt comfortable in as a mum. And so to be able to create this space, it's to be a village and hold ceremony, celebration, and collaboration. So every month we sit in ceremony. I have full moon ceremonies that go through every month. We sit together. I do a little bit of a guided meditation. I let the woo woo of me shine through. And then we have that chat where the village like dynamic can come through, and we just chat about whatever's going on for everybody. And it's that safe judgment free zone. Everyone's included no matter what. And then for the celebration every week, we go through and like I ask, what's your wins? What's going on for you? And we always bring out like what's going on in that beautiful way. What can you celebrate about yourself this week? And then each month we bring in somebody. I bring in someone, a guest speaker, to be able to share their wisdom as well. So it's really showing that we don't have to be in constant competition anymore as women. And that's something that's so important. And giving ourselves like the permission, why I called it the permission movement, was because I know that so many women and mothers especially don't give themselves permission. We don't allow ourselves to shine our brightest light because we're always trying to please other people. And so I wanted to show them that you don't have to be in that role of pleasing anymore. You don't have to just be a mum anymore. You can be who you want to be, rediscover yourself, and let that shine through. And you can still be your mum. You can still be all the roles that you've got, but that's not who defines you.
Yes, it is so true. I wish I had this when I was, my boys were younger, because for the first 10 years of motherhood, I didn't like it. You can read that story in the F Motherhood book too. And it's something that I found when I spent time with you at the cacao ceremony, that just cemented that you are so welcoming and non-judgmental, because I don't like cacao. I have tried several different types and I don't like it. And it was almost, when I told somebody that once, it was almost like I had told them I was going to cut their left arm off, because they were horrified. It was like, you can't not like it. It's amazing. And what it does for your body is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, well, it might be good, but I can't drink the stuff because I think it tastes like SHID. And it's something that it is, you know, when I was in that ceremony with you, it just felt so welcoming. You said, you don't have to have cacao. Like, it was like as if you were like, are you silly? Of course you don't have to drink that. Just drink a hot drink that you like. And I did. I bought my chai tea, and it just made me feel so welcome. Such a simple thing, and it made me feel so welcome. I just want to share with you some of the messages that are coming up. Meredith has said she loves that concept too, the Mama's Permission movement, and she says it's so needed. And I really do agree with that comment. Don't you, Carly?
Yeah, and like, it is so needed. There's not enough mums like being there for each other and giving each other that support and going, yes, you can do this. It doesn't matter what society tells you anymore. It doesn't matter about the patriarchal or the matriarchal roles that we have been told. Allow your feminine just to flow. So yeah, I love that other people can see the significance and the necessity of this as well.
Yeah. And Linda has said, so powerful, Carly. You're such a bright light. So Linda's showing up as mytimetv.live, and I just laughed because she is now showing up as herself. Thank you, Linda, for working that out and coming as yourself. Over on Amazon TV, where you can go, you can actually click that link from Facebook and go and watch us live on Amazon Live TV. And from the same place, you can go to the shop and you can purchase your copy of Intuitive Speaking Her Truth and actually read Carly and Meredith's stories and all the other women in the book. And you're able to connect with them through those books. The links are in there. Currently, only the ebook is available, but hoping by mid next week, we will have the paperback out to you. So fingers crossed, next time we come live on the show, we can actually say the paperback is there. We have some messages over there too. Stacey says she loves that movement, and Adair says a fabulous message, Carly, so liberating. Also applies to grandmotherhood, and that is true.
It does, yes. All ages. Yeah. That's what I always say. Like, I've had a few people say, but I'm not a mum anymore. I'm like, did you birth? Yeah. Then you're a mum.
You don't ever stop being one.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I remember, speaking of that, grandmothers and motherhood not stopping, I remember, so I lived overseas, and I lived in Sydney, and, you know, I was away for years, and at almost, I think I must have been 30, maybe I met him when I was 29 or 30, I met my now husband, and he happened to move to the town next door to my parents, my mum and my stepdad. And I said, you know, I would move home to see how things would go with him. I actually told him I was moving home for a job, but, you know, I moved home to see how things would go with him. And I moved back in with my mum. And at that age, and she's like, don't I ever get rid of you? I just remember that she was only joking. She did not mean it. But it was something that, you know, that when you just said, it doesn't matter what age you are, you're still a mum. That's who I went back to, you know, that's where my safe place was. And, you know, I was in a vulnerable position at that time, and exploring a new relationship was something that I thought I wasn't going to do. And it was, you know, that was the safety net for me to get around my mum. So you never stop being a mum, and I don't think I ever will ever stop being a mum. So yes, grandmothers are welcome in that space too. Linda says, your Mama's Permission movement is such a nurturing community and models a beautiful way forward for women. She loves it. She also says she was listening on the mobile while she was getting her breakfast, because she is a few hours behind us up in Darwin. And Linda says she's curious, is this permission movement for those women who choose not to be biological mums in this life as well?
Yes, it is. If you identify as a mum, then this space is for you. I have somebody who's a foster carer as a mum, and she's in there. So not biologically, but she's still a mum. She still faces the same troubles that we all face as mums. And that's why Like if you're nurturing a child, you're welcome in that space. You're still a mum. You're still facing these troubles, and you still need a village around you. You still need to give yourself a bit of permission and allow yourself to rise in the person you are, so that you can be the best person you can for your children. Stepmoms,
That
mums,
is,
yeah.
yeah. Well, Adair actually just said stepmoms, and that is so true. It's any mum, isn't it? It's you identify as a mum, and that was one of the things that the F Motherhood book highlighted to me too, is that some women actually have trouble identifying as a mother when they haven't birthed their children, and that's not true. It's my stepdad is my dad, like he's my dad. He didn't actually contribute to me genetically, but he is my dad. And that's something that is the same for mums, is, if you're raising the child, then that's you're the mum. So yeah, and they are all welcome. I have seen Carly's group and I'm in there, and it's very welcoming. So yes, if you identify as a mum, please do find the Mama's Permission movement and go on over there. Carly, can you tell me, what have you got going on in your world at the moment?
So I have, after doing these books, I rediscovered myself actually, and it was a big contribution to doing these books. It helped me find my path really. And so now my role is a women's rediscovery coach. So I'm helping mums find their wounds, women help find their wounds that may still be holding them back, re-nurture, reparent them, and rise and rebirth from them, so that they can really rise up and shine. So at the moment, I've actually got a free challenge about to launch, which is called the Rise Up Challenge, to help women find that peace that they've been missing, and what's holding them back from fully unlocking the cages and breaking free from the pain of the past.
Well, I'm so grateful that you are offering these services in the world, and you are the perfect person to do it, because you sit in this place of non-judgment that I haven't experienced with another woman to the level that you do. I mean, lots of the women who come into my world now are in that place, but yours is just another level, and I'm so grateful that you came into my world. There was one other question I wanted to ask you, and now I've lost it. Oh, that really sucks. I hate it when that happens. So I'm going to have to let it go and not hang on to that. Carly, is there anything that you would like to share with everybody, and it might pop back into my mind, that you haven't had the opportunity to today?
I think the biggest thing, like, I really want to reiterate what Meredith was saying with self-love. That's that reparenting, to give ourselves love and compassion and allow forgiveness for what's happened in the past, not to always forgive others, because sometimes that can't happen, but forgive yourself for holding on to any stories that may have been holding you back from being able to speak the truth. Linking it really back into being intuitive. It comes also from forgiving yourself of not allowing yourself to speak your truth, of not letting go of past woundings in that time, just forgiving that piece and accepting yourself for who you are, so you can speak your truth.
I love that. You did remind me of the question, and it's more of a statement than a question, and you will probably agree with me. We are worlds apart in how we raise our children, how we live. We are worlds apart in that, and I think that is really a testament to how non-judgmental you are. Like, you raise your children in unschooling, and mine have gone through traditional schooling. My son actually just became school captain yesterday, which is quite exciting. And, I watch how you raise your children in what the little bits that you share and what you share in the Mama's Permission movement. And I'm in awe of you, like how you do that and how you be as a mother. And I don't know, having my time over again, if I would choose that path, but, it's something that I would definitely have considered. Do you think that, what is it about you that allows you to be so open with everyone?
Honestly, it's probably because I was so judged, and because of the childhood trauma that I had, where everything wasn't good enough about me. I got to a point now, after being so jealous of everybody else, I was that person that would be so jealous that it wouldn't have been able to be like this a few years ago until I hit my pain point that badly that I couldn't stand to be alone anymore. I couldn't stand being the way that I was anymore, that it actually took me into a suicidal point and then out of it. And in that out of it, I found connection was the way forward. Love was the way forward. So me being judgmental, it just meant that I was losing out on so much that I couldn't handle losing out on anymore in my life. And that's where from there, it's like, okay, I see and I reflect everything in anybody else. If it's something that I'm judging, then what inside me am I either not seeing that I have, or what do I need to nurture more? And by me nurturing that person, I get to nurture myself.
Oh, I love it. And Linda actually preempted what you were going to say, because she says heart connection trumps all. And that's what you do. That's exactly what you do. Thank you so much for being such a bright light in this world and for contributing to 2 of our books and soon to be 3 of our books.
Yes.
And yes, please do grab your copy. Jump on over to Amazon and grab your copy. The links are in the comments and you can watch us over there, and you can also go to the store and purchase your book, and you can chat to us over there as well. Intuitive Speaking Her Truth is available in ebook at the moment, and you can also grab a copy of Carly's chapter in the F Motherhood book if you would like to learn more about her motherhood journey. Thank you so much, Carly, for being with us. It's been a pleasure having you today.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Some people come into your world like I describe this next author as, you know, the Tasmanian Devil cartoon where he we can hear her already. She's already speaking before she even comes to the stage. And I'd love to welcome Stacey to join us today. Thank you so much for being with us, Stacey. Do you know the Tasmanian Devil?
Kenny calls me Tazzy.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that. I did not know that. So you, you know, you burst into my world like the Tasmanian Devil in his whirlwind that he rushes from place to place in. He's spinning around, and there's all this stuff that comes along with him, and it's all fabulous with you. It's with him, it's probably all mess, but with you, you've often described yourself as a hot mess, but I would not agree with that. And Adair says that's gold, Tazzy. It's and she's American, so you know, go figure. Funny that she's on here today with Meredith, who is from Tasmania. So yeah, it's ironic. Your chapter title, I love it. Reiki is better than sex. I think that you know, it might shock a few people to hear that chapter title, and we have Stacey has joined us, and she said, I know that laugh, and she loves you, Stacey. Thanks for being with us over on Amazon TV. Tracy, we're pleased to have you there. Carly says hello to you too, Stacey, over on Amazon. And Lexi is there, and Lexi is your daughter. She says, woohoo, go mom. That's so cute. Can you tell me, Stacey, why you would say that Reiki is better than sex?
Yeah, that was a tough one to explain to the hubby, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, don't want to mess with the manhood now. But honestly, I have been touched by the spirit. When you're in spirit, you're inspired. And that name came to me because of my spiritual awakening. And I'm like, hell yeah, alrighty then. And I just went with it. So
I love that. I love it. Can you
tell the connection I have with my, you know, with my higher power, there's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than the connection with your own higher power. To me, that's everything. And if you don't have that, you know, it's really a tough way to live your life, which I did for a very long time. So that's why it's better than sex.
Yeah, and that's so true. Carly says she loves that. I love it. That's epic. And Adair said Reiki is better than sex, though, to explain to the hubby, and she's laughing at that as well. Can you tell me, in the book Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, a little bit about what you share in your story and why you chose that part of your stories to share?
My goodness. That story, that chapter is what set me free. My spiritual journey, my awakening, speaking my truth set me free. And I knew I needed to talk about my spiritual journey and what occurred, because ultimately that's what set me free. I had a near-death experience. I was touched by the Holy Spirit, and everything changed after that. So I felt that was really, at this time, that was the story I needed to share. I felt ready to share that part of my story at that time.
Yeah.
At this time.
And I think that it is, it's probably even more relevant with what's happening in the world. And I think that your story is one of triumph over adversity that is inspiring to others who are in that level of adversity as well. And it's also inspiring to me and people like me who are not in that adversity, but can admire that somebody else can go through that and come out the other side with such a strength and such a presence that you have. So I thank you for sharing that story and intuitive speaking her truth, because it is really one that is going to impact people's lives and change them for the better. Do you feel that the process of writing actually helped you to grow?
Yes, absolutely. 1000%. The craziest thing, and Meredith touched on this, I mean, I manifested all of this. I mean, I never dreamt of becoming an author, but I knew 4 years ago I had a story to tell, but the timing wasn't right. And the way everything just happened showed up in my lap, and I was just like, all right, I'm being presented with this amazing opportunity. I'm just going to roll the dice and go with it. And it was the best thing I could have ever done, because not only did it build my confidence, because I'm my own worst enemy, just like, other women are, constantly feeling like I wasn't worthy. It brought out a strength in me that I never knew I had. It peeled back so many beautiful layers. And now I'm like, whew, my story empowers the hell out of me.
And I love it when authors get to that point. It does happen quite often. So I just want to go to some comments that have come through. Linda has said on Facebook, she has said, "You're speaking my language, Stacey. Divine connection." We've got a spam over on Amazon Live, apparently. That's not very good. We've got a spammer over there. But Aggie was watching you over there, and Adair, yeah, somebody's trying to spam us over on Amazon Live. That's not good. Linda has said, wow, NDE, very powerful, which is pretty cool. Then Linda has also said, yes, that's how to flow. Love that you're sharing your experience, Stacey. It is how to flow, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've had an experience of your Reiki power. And I must say, I've had Reiki before, and it's been good. I was in bed I don't often get sick. And I was really sick it's probably, it would be 3 weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I had to cancel training on our Authors Hub. And you saw that, and you reached out to me and you said, do I have your permission to give you some Reiki? And you sent me a meditation, some affirmations, and you said, and I am doing Reiki on you, distance Reiki on you. Mm-hmm. And I've never had Reiki when I'm not in the same room as the person. And I was very skeptical. I must be honest. I was very skeptical to think, would this work? I'm open though. I'm open to anything. And I was really, really unwell. I thought I was going to be in bed for another 5 days. That's how unwell I was. And I haven't been that ill since I had my babies. So it was something that not only helped me, but I was out of bed that night making dinner. And my husband was like, well, you're not going to give us your germs. He didn't say, would you like me to cook dinner? He said, you're not going to give us your germs by cooking dinner. So he was shocked that I was out of bed And yeah, but definitely you shifted whatever it was that was happening for me. You shifted that through your Reiki practice. So do you think that it is something that is a gift to you, or do you think anybody could learn this process?
So anyone can learn Reiki. I mean, it's pretty easy to do, but I really believe that when you are called to do it and you're not looking for it as like, I need to make the money. I'm doing this with my heart. I'm being led with my heart. And I feel like, I'm putting my heart and soul in this. I feel like, there are tons and tons and tons of Reiki practitioners that are really, really good. I am just being led by my heart. And I feel that I've had a couple that I feel, maybe the intentions weren't there, but I know for me, I'm purely driven by my heart, purely driven by my heart. Wherever God needs me to serve, that's where I'm going. And I felt the need that you needed some assistance. And I'm like, let me just reach out. And I'm really glad I did, because thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really glad you did too, because gosh, it shifted whatever was happening in me, and I was able to get out of bed. And then the next day I felt, 50% better. And then the next day, 100% better. It was just like, it happened much faster than it was going to, because of that experience with you. And I'm really grateful for that. Lexi has said, Motley and I are so proud of you, Mum. And Teresa is with us. Teresa's in the house, and she said Reiki is just that powerful. Teresa is another author in the book, and she's over on Amazon Live TV, where you can go to actually purchase a copy of the book. You can chat to us over there, and you can pop into the shop and you can talk to us through the Amazon TV channel, or you can join us on Facebook like Linda is. Linda has also said, people until they feel it. And that was me. Like distance Reiki was something that I was skeptical about. And, now that I have felt it, I am definitely an advocate for it and can speak up about it even more. And she said, I'm a typical Aussie skeptic. Very true, Linda. Very true. We are skeptical, us Aussies. Oh, Ken's in the house. He said, that's my wife. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for joining us over on Amazon. Randy has said, Stacey, ever since you came back into my life, you've helped me so much. And we have another comment down there. And, it's just Adair saying, hey to Ken on Amazon Live TV. So thanks for joining us over there, guys. Really do appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. And Teresa has said, that's okay. We love skeptics, because you like to prove us wrong, right? Isn't that where it all comes down to?
That's the point. Open that mind a little bit, people. Come on, open the mind a little bit.
It is so true, and that's one of the things that I have learned in my journey since I had what I call a mini breakdown in 2016, and being open-minded to how I could recover was the best way for me to recover. And I think that's opportunity for others to learn from me. Even now, like I was lying there sick as a dog, and I get this message, and I'm like, oh my God, do I have to look at that? And I'm so glad I looked at it, and I was like thinking, will this work? Well, I don't really care if it doesn't. I've got to give it a shot, because I'm so sick. I'm so unwell, and nothing is helping. So that was great that I did, you reminded me to have that openness. Can you say what is it? Can you tell us and the viewers, what is it that you are doing in the world right now? What do you have on offer for people to work with you right now?
Well, I've been a nurse for 26 years, and God has called me to start doing some energy healing, which is why I got into the Reiki. So I opened up Happy, Healthy Healing Reiki, and I do remote Reiki right now. I do archangelic light healing, which is energy healing along with Reiki. I actually have a Manifesting Virgin Academy, where it's a 6-week Hot Mess Express Transformation Station Academy, 6 weeks to change your life. So this all happened this week. Everything, opened up this week. So there's so many exciting things coming up for me. I'm just like pinching myself, because it's just, I'm just so humbled and grateful for everything that's happening. But yeah, so the Reiki is up and running. My Reiki business is up and running.
That is so good. Randy is obviously working with you, or has worked with you, because she said that I was skeptical as well, but Stacey showed me how this all works, and that is great to hear that. That is really great to hear that. Lexi said she couldn't be more proud of you. I can't wait to see where the Academy goes. Me too, Lexi. I'm so excited to see where the Academy goes. It's something that, you've birthed through this process. So do you think that if somebody is thinking about being in a multi-author book, that you would encourage them to be? Because it's not just about the book, is it?
No. It's speaking your truth. It's finding yourself, stepping out of your comfort zone. I mean, I lived my life in fear and shame and blame and guilt. And the minute I started dealing with trauma in my childhood past and everything that occurred to me that made me just miserable, I started seeing a different light, and I started seeing the light in me that others have seen that I could not see.
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, just stepping out of my comfort zone just changed everything. At first, I've never even heard of a multi-author book. A year ago, I've never even heard of Reiki. I'm being totally honest. Yeah. I mean, it's just, I have opened my mind, and I literally have given up control. I surrendered, and I say, what's next? Just show me what's next. And that's how I live my life now. And I have been blessed so abundantly. I'm like literally aging in reverse. I'm going to be 54 in 3 weeks. And I'm like, what? I can't be that old. But I feel like I'm so young in spirit. And I feel that for the first time in my life, I mean, my light is shining through. And this is where God wants me right now. And I couldn't be more happy about it and blessed.
That is so good. I love that. I remember you posting somewhere that your next birthday, you were turning 54. And I said, you have to have written that around the wrong way. It's got to be at least 45, not 54. Like, that has to be back to front. Linda has said, woohoo, congrats. So wonderful to have another light worker stepping out into the world. And that is so true. The more light workers in the world, the more women Absolutely. Who are sharing their gifts with others, the better this world's going to be. And energetically, collectively, we can raise the vibration of the planet and make things better for everyone, not just those that we're working with, right?
Right. Yeah. There's a huge spiritual awakening going on right now. And I'm at the point right now where I'm ready to, do my part, whatever I can do to help.
That's so good. I'm so proud of you. Linda said she loves the name of your academy, the Manifesting Virgin Academy. Meredith is back with us, and she's over on Facebook as well. And she said, you can find me here. She's put her links in there, and Carly has put her links in there, and Stacey will put her links into the comments as well, so you can join them in their quest to help you. And Linda has said, it's beautiful. You are aging in reverse. That is fantastic. It is so true. We have Tracy saying over on Amazon Live that she is so thankful to have met Stacey and to have her guidance in these past several months. Her life has transformed for the better and headed to the best. That is so good. I love that. Is that what you do for your clients? You take them from better to best?
I take beautiful women that are badasses, that are living behind a mask of shame and guilt and limiting beliefs in their head. And I totally transform them to own their shit, own their hot messiness, and realize that, your past could be your present. For me, my past was the biggest present because I accepted, I acknowledged the past. It made me who I am. And now that I can own it, I can teach other women exactly how to own their own hot messiness and live their best life. That's what I do.
I implore you guys to jump on over to Amazon Live and go to the shop, purchase your copy of Intuitive Speaking Her Truth, and you can actually read Stacey's story in its entirety. And I also want to encourage you to hit the follow button over there, because that helps the books to get further reach and allow the authors that you support to get their story out into the world and their work out into the world. Lexi has also said, I think you try and push people to see the best version of themselves, and you have changed the way I look at myself, and that is amazing. What a beautiful thing for your daughter to say. That is beautiful. Heart expensive stuff, Stace.
It is. Because she saw me clinically depressed for 15 years where I couldn't get out of bed.
Yeah. And look at you now. You're just flying, and this is a beautiful gift that you're giving her now, and she's so proud of you. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The full circle. She gets to see the full circle. So what else have we got over here? Adara said she totally knows the feeling. Did you know that 60 is the new 30? Makes you, Stacey, around 28 then. And she recalculated. She went, no, actually 26. You're 26.
The hubby's now older than me.
Carly has said, I love this. I love that I'm here with you, Stacey. And is it Jabe Hunter has said she's so proud of you. Thanks for the follow over there too, Jabe. That's awesome. Linda has said you are inspiration. And okay, great. Thank you so much for all the comments, guys. That's great. So, Stacey, where do you see the process of being in the Manifesting Virgin Academy? How does that go for somebody who joins that program?
So it's a very intense 6-week guidance. You know, it's guided, so you can do it at your own pace, but it has daily homework. It's got affirmations. We're doing Reiki. We have a every Sunday night we do a wine and vibe. I mean, there's so much going on. I'm teaching women baby steps how to really start loving yourself, because let's be honest, if you can't love yourself, you can't love anyone else. And that's the God's honest truth. That truly is. You really cannot love anyone fully until you truly accept who you are at your core. And I feel nowadays women are so judged by society and everything that people tell us and these limiting beliefs that we have in our head. And I want to knock that shit out of the park. There are women that just need to have someone listen to them and say, you know what? Let me hold your hand. Let me hold your hand and just listen to them. And I feel I can do that. I've done that for the last 4 years with my Facebook groups, teaching women how to overcome adversity with laughter and gratitude and positivity. But this is just a really intense 6-week class, opening up your chakras, keeping them balanced, just different ways to look at life, to really see through different eyes. Like I see life in color for the very first time. And this is such an unbelievable gift I've been given. It would not be fair if I didn't share it. And it's just a bit, but it's not your typical boot camp. I mean, I'm a hard ass. They're like, no excuses. Unless you're dead, I don't want to hear any excuses.
That's how I felt when you messaged me. It was like, okay, well, she said you said in a kind but butt-kicking manner,
yeah,
you need to do these in front of the mirror, and you know that's how they work best. And if you don't do them then, you know, you might as well not bother, was what you said. It was like, okay, I'm getting out of bed now, I'm gonna do this. Yeah. The next time I went to the toilet, I took my phone with me and read them out in front of the mirror. It was brilliant. You do a good job at that. You're good at that. I like it. We do have a comment from Meredith. She said, I relate to all this so much, Stacey. I wanted to reiterate about the importance and power in opening our hearts. That's what I use a mantra for much of the time. And that's something that you raised. So yeah, that's great that you said that, Meredith. Thank you. Randy says, Stacey, know that the other Ken is on here watching too. And he's so proud of your journey and what you are doing. Thank you so much for that. Lexi didn't mean to make you cry, but you know what, Lexi, a good interview with a crier is always, you know, good ratings. So thanks for that, Lexi. We have somebody else, and I don't know, P. Troy is how it comes up. Says, great job, Stace, with some love hearts for you. So that's really nice that you've got some really great supporters over there, your clients and your friends and family over there. That's great to see. So thank you so much. If you're over on Amazon Live, please do click the follow before you leave, because it helps the authors to reach further and wider with their stories. And Stace, is there anything that you haven't been able to share that you would like to?
So kind of to reiterate what Meredith said, you know, about the opening up the chakras and just really finding the space inside of you. I mean, I found my solitude in my stillness, which I was never someone who could meditate. I couldn't keep my mind off for 5 seconds. Now I could meditate for an hour, and I feel like I could teach anyone the art of manifesting and meditation. It's all about heart and brain coherence. And that's something. So thank you for writing that, because I'm like, what am I forgetting to say? But yeah, I don't know. It's all about the stillness and finding the peace inside of your heart and coming to terms with who you truly are at your core. And it's beautiful when you can remove the layers.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Peeling back those onion layers. And I think you hit the nail on the head where you said it's beautiful when you find who you truly are at your core. And I'm so grateful for you for being here today, and so grateful for you sharing your story in the book so vulnerably. And I look forward to seeing you blossom even more in the world, and I'm grateful that I'm able to be a part of that journey and that you're part of mine. Thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you. Thank you so much for everything. So grateful.
Mutual love, darling, mutual love. Thank you, everyone, for being with us on Amazon Live TV. Before you go, please do give us a follow over there. It does help for the author's books to reach further and wider. You can purchase both of the books in the series so far. Intuitive Knowing Her Truth, Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. If you would like to take a multi-author book journey or to write your own solo book, please do reach out to me at bridgetholder.com, and I would love to chat to you. Thank you so much, and we will be back next week with another version of Author in the Spotlight with some more authors from Intuitive Speaking Her Truth. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching us on Facebook through